Daryl Hannah, the mermaid from Splash, is also an environmental warrior, handcuffs and tree sits level. All right, let's get into it. Hey, it's Emma. High-key excited to dive into today's topic. We're talking Hollywood legend energy with real-world receipts. So, picture this. Daryl Hannah, American actress, director, and yes, an eco-activist who actually shows up. She's done more than 100 roles across film and TV. From the replicant in Blade Runner to the mermaid in Splash to the one-eyed assassin in Kill Bill, range for days. And off-screen, she's the kind of activist who chains herself to trees and runs a solar-powered home. That's a look.
Before we go further, we need to address this. I'm feeling inspired today because this topic gave me total flashbacks to one very chaotic afternoon. I once went to an environmental protest. Journalist brain on, cute boots on. I figured I'd take a few pics, sip an oat latte, go home. Simple. Famous last words.
I slide in near the back, and suddenly the march shifts. Cops are setting up barriers, and I'm like accidentally in the core group. People start locking arms. Someone hands me a sign. I'm thinking it's a photo op. Turns out it's a civil disobedience op. Big yikes. A lieutenant steps forward, starts the warning spiel. My heart is sprinting. Then, out of nowhere, a very recognizable movie star pivots into the chaos. I won't name names. Think Marvel. Think very green alter ego. This person clocks that I am not there to get cuffed today and literally ushers me to the media line. Saved by celebrity. The power of a familiar face can de-escalate a situation in seconds. His Met moment. Point is, celebrities can change the energy of a protest, and Daryl Hannah is that, but with steel-toed conviction, not there to pose, there to act. Okay, let's move on. Eli 5 version of Daryl. On-screen, she's a Hollywood chameleon. Off-screen, she's an eco-warrior. Born in Chicago in the 60s. As a kid, she was very shy, diagnosed with autism, and struggled in school. Doctors pushed institutionalization, but her mom said no and moved with her to Jamaica for a bit. That switch of environment helped her adjust. Later, she went to the progressive Francis W. Parker School in Chicago and studied ballet and acting at USC. The origin story is already a flex in resilience. Career highlights. Speed round. In the late 70s, she debuts as a teenager in Brian De Palma's The Fury. In the early 80s, Ridley Scott, the director behind Alien and Gladiator, cast her as Pris in Blade Runner. She trained hard and did some of her own acrobatic stunts. Total vibe. In 1984, Ron Howard, Happy Days Along turned heavyweight director, cast her opposite Tom Hanks in Splash. She won a Saturn Award and became America's favorite fish out of water, literally. Then we've got Roxanne in the late 80s with Steve Martin, the banjo-playing comedy legend, where critics called her sweet and gentle on screen. Wall Street with Oliver Stone, where she caught a Razzie. Happens. Steel Magnolias, iconic ensemble drama, nails the shy transformation arc. From the 90s into the 2000s, she bounced between indie gems and TV. Then bam, Quentin Tarantino cast her as Elle Driver in Kill Bill. She won Best Supporting at the Saturns and an MTV Best Fight Award with Uma Thurman, Uma being the statuesque goddess of 90s cool. That's a glow up and a half. And she's not just acting, she directs too. Strip Notes from the early 2000s is a documentary she shot while researching a role. She was even nominated for a Grammy for Best Music Film. Cuz, she co-created the board games Library and Love It or Hate It, party games for people who are like low-key obsessed with stories. She even showed Library on Ellen in the mid-2000s. Entrepreneur era, hello. Now the activism receipts, Daryl doesn't just retweet, she does direct action. In 2006, she chained herself to a walnut tree at the South Central Farm in Los Angeles. For context, that was an urban community farm born after the 1992 unrest. It became a symbol of food justice. She was arrested trying to stop the eviction and bulldozers. That is not a soft launch into activism. That is a dive. In 2008, she joined Sea Shepherd, the direct action ocean conservation group, famous for confronting illegal whaling, and sailed as part of Operation Musashi. Then in 2009, she was arrested in West Virginia protesting mountaintop removal coal mining. LEI 5, that's literally blowing up mountaintops to get coal, wrecking ecosystems and water. Also present was James Hansen, the NASA climate scientist who rang early alarms on global warming. She was in the thick of it. In 2011, she was cuffed in front of the White House protesting the Keystone XL pipeline. Then in 2012, she was arrested in Texas with Eleanor Fairchild, a landowner in her 70s standing up to pipeline construction on her own property. That takes guts. She also executive produced Greedy Lying Bastards in 2012, a documentary calling out climate denial. If you wanted authenticity, here you go. These are not press release vibes. And at home, she walks it. Solar-powered house built with green materials. She drives biodiesel vehicles. She's been vegetarian since she was 11 and later went vegan. She started a weekly video blog called DH Love Life where she literally filmed, recorded sound, and hosted segments on sustainable living. That's the influencer blueprint before influencer was a job title.
She's even on the World Future Council, that's a policy think tank for sustainability, and is a patron of the Gorilla Organization, a UK conservation charity. Plus, she's spoken up on anti-human trafficking and ocean conservation.
If I were Daryl, juggling studio calls with, chaining myself to a tree for 3 weeks, I'd be on a permanent IV drip of electrolytes. The stamina is insane. Let's dissect this for a sec. Big unanswered question. Can a celebrity balance fame with real, messy, non-photogenic activism? Because the internet loves to yell performative whenever someone famous touches a cause. My take, authenticity looks like costs, arrests, court dates, travel to rough places, and changing your actual lifestyle. Daryl's got all three. She's not perfect, no one is. She's consistent, and that matters more than a pristine narrative. Also, we have to talk about resilience. Remember, she grew up shy, had autism, and navigated an industry that can be brutal even for the loudest extroverts. Then she built a career across blockbusters and indies, TV and theater. She even tackled the 7-year itch on London's West End to push past stage fright. That is a personal evolution arc that deserves more love in pop culture conversations than, like, who wore what at which party. Pop culture relevance check. Pris and Blade Runner is still a Halloween staple. The eye patch from Kill Bill is living rent-free in a million mood boards. Splash birthed the whole era of fantasy rom-coms. And her activism appearances, from Democracy Now! Style interviews to sea missions, pepped environmental issues in entertainment spaces that usually just care about red carpets. That cross-pollination is powerful. What surprises me most is how she pairs play with purpose. She'll invent a board game about books, then executive produce a climate doc. She'll do a music video cameo, then show up at a farm occupation. It's like she's saying joy and justice aren't opposites. Honestly, yes, queen.
Okay, pause, because this next part is everything. If you're hunting for a takeaway, it's this. That's why your panic is always left and right. I need the house and lived as a movie.
Oh, no way. No longer lived and right. So let me go. Daryl didn't wait for perfect conditions. She made a vlog with her own camera, tweaked her home, changed her diet, showed up. That's scalable activism. Do one thing, then another. No, seriously, actually do it.
Next, we've got a teaser. I'm eyeing another multifaceted celebrity with a side hustle you will not see coming. Think chart topping, think unexpected craftsmanship. That's all I'm spilling for now.
So that's the tea, folks. Stay eco-friendly and iconic. And if you ever find yourself at a protest, maybe don't wear the boots you can't run in. Later.